where we left off, last session, you guys did a great deal of questioning of the Lich in the Amber Temple, and Alistair tried to pull his own little solo plan, much to the chagrin of the other members of the party, in the Amber Temple. After getting a variety of information, and Adunbi also managing, Adunbi and Andar both managing to raid the, oh, hold on, I need to... Mim is currently Andar.
What?
Mandar.
Mandar.
It's like a superhero.
Mandar, is that you?
Wait, did I send you guys the photo of Mim for me as me taking photos pretending to be Andar?
Yeah.
We did see those.
Yeah, we saw those.
That's Mandar.
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 So, Adunbi and Andar both managed to raid the treasure room with decent amounts of loot each. But after a little bit of kind of banter and information gathering, it seems that all of you were done with the temple, and you guys are currently parked outside of the temple, waiting to determine what to do next. Let me zoom in here and get this scene activated for everybody.
Wait. What is our plan? What was our plan after this? Where were we gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. we had a plan. We had a plan.
Nope.
That is to be discussed.
No, we had a plan. We said we're gonna go here, 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 and then here. We mapped it out on the map.
So yes, the tentative plan was heading back down to Perez.
Yeah, we did. Our characters did not.
Yeah.
No, they did. I thought. Pretty sure we discussed it.
Well, we had a plan that could be interrupted by what we talked about in here and whatever, because we did learn more stuff.
Bald dudes.
All right. So, any other things that we want to go over before we get started, or are we good to go?
That's fuck. What I wanted to say.
Oh, where did Andar go? Oh, Andar's right here.
Around.
I'll remember later.
That's just how you get rid of him. Where did Andar go? Oh, no.
I was like, no. For a second, I thought that he was not in the scene, and I was like, wait. All right. So, you guys are currently outside of the temple. All of you have exited. You are standing out on the frozen tundra outside of the temple, which looks like this. You guys are standing right about here. What's your plan?
You guys just wanted to retire and start a tavern?
I'm thinking a competing toy shop.
No, it's just
Wow.
we're putting in a lot. I'm just saying, we're putting in a lot of effort, risking our lives to go back. But like, it's pretty lucrative here.
And we haven't spent like a significant amount of time in here, right? Like we started right when we woke up, jumped into the temple, so it's like barely lunchtime, right?
You've been in there a while, just because the amount of time it took to explore and
This
fight.
has all been
I would
one
say
really long day.
it's been one really long day. I would say it's past lunchtime. I wouldn't say it's quite evening yet, but
Like three.
I would say it's probably like 3 or 4, and it's been a long 3 or 4. Like you guys have definitely been.
It's like when you've been at school all day.
Mm-hmm.
It's been you had all of your like hard classes. It's like only only like 2:30 to 3 o'clock. But like
I remember when I last saw the sun.
Oh my god! It's time to take a lunch break.
It's basically most of Tot's career.
So people like I haven't left my classroom all day, and I'm like, holy shit, what is this thing out here?
People say that summer is harder for teachers.
Summer is harder for teachers.
Yeah.
Going back, I think planning and prepping in the summer is really, really hard because you don't want to do it.
Also, just a quick thing, Sasha. I think your filter is on a little heavy. It's cutting you off as you spot.
Talk this close to your microphone.
Hello, everybody.
Ah, yes, Mim.
new man.
This place, it changes you.
Oh my god, that would be so hilarious for Mim. I would love
Mim
that.
comes out with like a side of their head shaved and like a cigar. I remember my days in Barovia.
You think you have friends until you don't.
Chocolate. Never heard of it.
I remember chocolate. I hated it.
Okay.
My name's no longer Mim. It's Manda.
I find before you finished the word, I thought that you were gonna say it's no longer Mim, it's ma'am.
Oh, I was thinking mom.
This is what happens when you have a bunch of kids.
Oh man.
What setting do I change?
Here.
Just removal, echo, gain. All right.
Try that.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
I think after, because this is not too long after Alistair and I just had a chat.
Correct.
So
You
I
guys
think
were-
I'm still gonna be quiet.
Okay.
People coming out.
Yeah, so Alistair and Sten had a bit of a heart-to-heart out on the veranda, and now
Wait,
everyone
okay,
else is filed out.
Life comes at you fast, Alistair. Sometimes too fast.
Don Toretto?
All we have is family.
I'm just imagining Sten just trying out like different characters. So it's time to switch it up.
Oh, Dornby, it's very nice to see you.
Somehow I actually feel like I just right up Sten's alley.
Oh man,
Like switching voices.
Well, he's a bard.
that's true.
He could do it. What if his voice that we've heard the whole time isn't his actual real voice?
Wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, we're not that far into the reveal yet. I think we haven't even had session 50, so.
Yeah. Sten's a pretty shifty guy. Don't let him fool you.
Casimir is basically just going to like stand out about 10 to 15 feet from the group, just staring out into the snow.
Very shady.
Oh.
So,
Does he look? Oh, go ahead.
oh, go ahead. After you.
Does he look any more shaken or like confident?
Roll me an insight check.
Okay. Oh. This is gonna go really well. Insight. 9.
With a 9, it's difficult. You were so absorbed in your conversation with Alistair that's what your mind is. You notice him standing there. It's tough for you to kind of like shift gears to focusing on his emotions because you're a little drained. It is, even with a 9 though, pretty evident that the man seems dejected.
Well, we could put him out of his misery.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Pushes him down the mountain, Baldur's Gate style.
We have to take his ring though.
This is a full achievement run.
Oh my god. So, now what? I'm not sure, exactly what information we were looking to find here, but do you think that we have everything we need?
Well, Anda has unlimited wine now.
That I do! And I'm quite excited about it. I'm gonna do my best.
Just choose a voice, stick with it. You got it.
We have a little bit more information than we did before, so that's something, I guess.
Dude, he just like you're on top of Irina.
I don't know what you're talking about. She doesn't exist.
I physically can't get to her without moving you. Yeah, I'll just. There you go. You want me there? Go ahead.
Oh. You put her on a different layer.
How dare he?
You're a monster.
I fucking love that scene. It's so good. You're horrible. You're a monster.
He says you're an unredeemable monster.
Yeah. It's so good. This is horrible. You're horrible. Your wish is horrible. What was that?
Oh wait. How big is a large gingerbread monster?
like the one from Shrek?
Mm-hmm. Would you
say
categorize that as large or
50.
huge?
Let me check my size. I think
because I could make one.
It's at least like 10 Shreks, right? Like Shrek is like part of its face, so it's at least 10 Shreks. Also, what the hell are we talking about right now? But
This is vitally important in the fight against Strahd.
I'll have to look up the one that I have the cheat sheet for is downstairs.
Can we
Look up the
please
size
have
guide.
holding out for a hero play while we fight
Yes,
Strahd?
right?
Hero.
Okay, so
I think large is probably up to like 20 feet, right? So
it
it would
says
be huge.
technically speaking that I would say it's about the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, so it'd be huge.
Damn. make it.
Let's say if you make it, but if you make a medium-sized one, I can use enlarge on it.
I can make a large one.
Yeah, and then I could enlarge it and make it huge, right? Then it'd be the right
So
size.
there's a chance. We just need to find someone.
There's a chance.
We need a baker to discover gingerbread men so that I can be inspired.
Amazing.
Not in Barovia.
Can I learn this? Where can I learn this technique? Not from a Barovian.
All right.
Memes aside.
I guess we go back the way we came.
Well, what exactly is our plan here? If we have more information, what's our next objective?
I feel like we've been asking that ourselves for every day for a while.
Can we look at the map real fast?
Of course.
Well, Alistair and I made a sketch of the castle. That's not it. Sten Simon. My. Alistair and I made a sketch of the castle. Nah, can't find it.
The castle. No, don't go that way.
Castle. We found a sketch of the castle.
Here's the map.
Here's the map. Here's the map. Here's the
I
map.
didn't think we were
Here's
very
the
much
map.
prepared to explore what we need there.
Oh, no way. No. No. We are a horrible team. We can't get our shit together. We're not ready. We need to go do some team building in the swamps or something.
Yeah, you are correct. We honestly, we might as well give up now.
Yeah, I think. Is there
Maybe start the tavern.
Well, looking at the map, we found out we at least found out some information about this gap. It seems that there's not a lot to be done there. That
Yeah, just a trick of the mind, really.
yes, some sort of illusion or such, which leaves these remaining. Well, we've talked about Ravenloft. You've created the schematics. There's this Argynvost Holtz, which it has to do with. They said that old order, right? Perhaps there's some information there or relics. I don't know the state of. I can't say I visited it, but I know that there's a great deal of history that's associated with the location. Maybe there's some old documents or artifacts we could find there. And then we have...
You mentioned something about Eilina, one of your past selves.
Yes, I seem to recall the castle itself. Most of what I remember, though, is in line with the information that we have of... It was a order of knights, the Order of the Silver Dragon. They considered themselves protectors of the realm and attempted to face down Strahd as an invading force. But as at least we've been informed, it seems they were all slain. And as far as I know, the castle's never been reclaimed. I think that it's stood abandoned, at least as far as my learnings have told me.
Headquarters?
We spent quite a bit of time away from that skeleton guy. Did anyone else ask him any more questions?
That's quite a lot of questions, but it seemed to be the most coherent of mine.
Well, was there anything useful that he was able to give you?
He told me that Strahd gained a lot of power by corrupting the Druid sanctuaries. That we could weaken him by reversing that process at different shrines.
The Druid sanctuaries like Yesterhill? Or...
Yes. There's... I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think 3, right? Or
yes.
Is it 3?
It's specifically the Fanes.
Yeah.
The 3 Fanes worshipped by the old mountain and druidic folk of Barovia prior to invasion and settlement.
So if we wanted to confront Strahd, restoring those locations, the 3 Fanes would seek to weaken him so that we would have a better chance.
That's huge information. All I got was he was on a knowledge quest. How did you...
I had to ask the same thing many times in different ways and reintroduce myself many times in different ways. I think I've lost at least 10 years of my life.
Well,
honestly, Doobie, it kind of looks like you gained those back. You look much younger.
I feel older.
Well, you do have some explaining to do. You just left.
I think I went straight and I left.
Yeah.
Hey, how tall is this cliff? Can I take enough fall damage to kill myself?
It's very good.
the answer is yes. But what was it? I think he said 500 feet.
You disappeared, and then we got attacked.
Oh yes, but I was making sure that I could help you. I'm never truly gone. Like,
So where did you half disappear to then?
oh, I just took a spiritual journey. You know druid stuff. All the druids that we fought, and they talk about random things. Gods and spirits and things like that to acquire power. You never know when you have to do it. Just kind of pops up. It's one of the most annoying things about being a druid, to be honest. But yes, I'm sorry that I left you in danger. I made sure to help as much as I could. But I am back, though. Hopefully, we can finally deal with Strahd. Seems that we've been getting more powerful and getting more information by the day.
So, what is next? Prioritize.
That's a good question.
Either way, we're going down the mountain, right? Maybe talk and travel. Figure it out.
I assumed we were walking this whole time.
Doomby, you said there were 3 Fanes.
Yes.
You've only seen 2.
The one at Yesterhill.
The one at Bone Grinder.
And the other one, what's her name?
Andar would chime in at this point because he read the book about the Fanes at in Vallaki at Wachter House. Well, the obelisks aren't exactly the Fanes. The Fanes are sort of deities in their own right. I have to get his voice right.
He's like
Check out Mr. Know-It-All.
he sounded like Irena's brother.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say the obelisks are deities, so to speak. The deities are their own thing. I'm not sure the rocks are that important.
Interesting.
So
'Cause also-
fixing them might not do any.
If we were to fix an obelisk, the one at Bone Grinder, do we rebuild a windmill?
We didn't fix any of them, right? No, we fixed one of them, right?
Mm-mm.
We fixed the one on Yesterhill.
Think we fixed any, did we?
So none of the obelisks have been damaged. They've all been standing, and they've had different carvings on them.
No, I thought we restored the one on Yesterhill. I just know we like talked to him or whatever.
We just
I don't-
touched that.
So what happened at Yesterhill was there was the obelisk at the base, and you spoke to one of the druidic spirits, who gave you guidance on what was happening on the hill. You went up, you stopped a druidic ceremony on top of the hill to summon Winter Splinter, and then you destroyed Winter Splinter.
Ah.
And we talked to him, and he was
So
like, "Thank you"
far-
or whatever. And then he was like, "Thank you" or whatever, right?
Yes.
I thought you talked
And
to
then
him.
there
and
was
he
also
like, I
the-
can finally rest or whatever. And
Yes. And then there was the Goldthias tree, which was tainted.
that we never
And-
did anything about.
You guys messed with it for a bit and
Table talk-wise.
bailed.
Yeah.
Table talk wise, at each obelisk, there's been foreshadowing to what comes next.
Yeah.
There's been-
Because at the first obelisk, there was children's teeth at the base of it. And the second obelisk was we talked to the guy who was like, my axe. They took my axe and they made it evil. Right? And the axe is in the evil tree.
I don't know if
Sorry.
it's foreshadowing or more like clues.
Well, also,
So
his
Sorry, when you said they took my axe and made it evil, I was thinking about Twitter.
his axe was not the one that you guys got from the tree, because the one that you got from the tree was the one that spiked people that was good and evil.
Yeah, we got his spear that was buried
Correct.
halfway up.
yeah.
Oh, got you.
His spear was buried.
It's what let Mal hit or gain 10 hit points when he kills someone.
Got you. Okay.
But basically, he was just saying that his people, the old mountain druidic folk, the mountain was a holy site and resting site for his people, and that the new Strahd worshipping druids were performing a dark ritual on it, and that it was disturbing the rest of his ancestors, essentially.
He gave us a time warning. Like, you can do it slow and stealthily, but they might be finished. Or you can go in guns a-blazing and die.
He essentially was essentially a ghost scout for you. He was like, hey, this is what's happening up there where you can't see, and I need you to fix it.
So basically, the Feint obelisks are tooltips in this game.
Did the iconography on the rocks surrounding, did that match up between the two we've seen?
So good question. The iconography on the first set of stones were, I believe, cityscapes. Let me double check here. But it was cities in different,
yes,
like
yes.
different
right?
seasons.
Fords. Yep.
Yeah.
Whereas the second one were images of what you now know are iconography of the three Fanes themselves. Let me pull up the exact descriptions here. I hate the order of some of these chapters. They don't make any sense. All right, here we go. So the 4 stones at...
Same song.
There were 4 stones at the Bone Grinder, and each of them bared the imagery of 4 cities. Let's see. Each moth-covered stone bears a crude carving of a city, each of which is associated with a different season. The city of winter is shown covered with snow, the city of spring is arrayed in flowers, the city of summer has sunburst overhead, and the city of autumn is covered with leaves. Whereas the one at Yesterhill... Please hold while I find it. I'm close.
What kind of temperature was the village of Barovia and Vallaki? Because Winter City, because I like.
Oh yes,
if you're
weather-wise,
equating each
I
one.
see.
Vallaki was very hot.
Actually, Alistair, roll me a religion check.
It was a city on
Yes.
fire. Kreska's cold.
15.
Cool. Hold on for 1 second.
Sorry, I'm currently working with 2 versions of Alistair.
Oh.
Well, because we didn't level up, right? You said hold off on that.
Yes. It'll
Yeah.
be once
Cool,
you long
so
rest.
My D&D Beyond is 1 level ahead of actual Alistair.
Oh no.
All right. With a 15, the 4 cities, you like, with how much you've been interacting with Morning Lord iconography and your interaction with the Morning Lord and all this stuff that's happened since you last discussed these obelisks, you realize that you make a connection in your brain that you previously hadn't thought of. But there is a religious story of the There's an ancient legend that tells of the 4 cities, and they're said to be the cities of paradise, where the Morning Lord, Mother Night, and other ancient gods first dwelled. It's essentially like a Mount Olympus, but for different seasons and different gods. But they're holy places. Whereas, sorry,
I relay as such to the group.
whereas the 3 that you saw at Yesterhill, one depicted a One depicted a woman sitting by a spinning wheel with black inky eyes and hair that kind of like spiked out from her head slightly. The other depicted what appeared to be a woman with a deer skull attached to her head.
Hundreds. So these are
Tall,
descriptions of
lanky
what
human.
Doomby got.
This is the descriptions of. This is what you guys saw on the obelisks down by yesterday.
Yeah, but a Doomby's conversation with Mr. E.
Yes. Well, he basically said, to paraphrase, he essentially said, Strahd got a lot of Strahd's power over Barovia itself has to do with his
grip on these. Or whatever.
His desecration of these sites and the removal of the Fanes from power, and in theory that would be a route to potentially make him weaker and lessen his hold on the land.
Just to clarify, was the guy that we talked, the ghost guy, on Yester Hill, was he one of them, or was I don't remember, or was he
I think
just
they're all ladies.
random druid? Ah, you're right.
Do we know if those, what would you really call them, obelisks, plinths, stuff like that, are those the sites that he desecrated, or have we?
No
actually
one has
not seen
asked
any?
that.
Okay.
Damn.
The obelisks are like the trees and shit. Because like I was assuming like at Yester Hill there was like the corrupted tree or whatever. I was just assuming like that was, well, I don't know if anyone's ever watched like She-Ra or whatever, but like oh, the tree is corrupted. It used to be like this like holy sacred thing. That's what I was assuming.
Are we interested enough to go back and ask if we're still at the temple?
Well, wait. Question. Does his study have a window?
No, the temple's built into a mountain.
Oh, you're right. But there are windows on the front. I just didn't know if it was front face. No, it would have been in the back left, right?
Yeah.
Damn. I would have just went into.
You know what we could do actually, because we have message, right? Or not message. We have sending, right?
No.
No. One of us has sending.
I've been using message.
I had sending parchment, but I'm out of it.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah.
Didn't we get like a? Am I tripping? Didn't someone have that spell, or like we had like a stone or something that could come? Oh,
Or
I think that was
acorn?
with Strahd. I think that was with Strahd, right?
Irina has a one-time escape button.
Or call. I don't think we actually know. It just says his aid, right?
Well, he's
what he offered?
basically, if it gets crushed, it sends her to Ravenloft. Because I was going to use it against the oh god, Mal's father.
Oh, the abbot.
Oh, the abbot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the But yeah, do we care enough to see how he desecrated the sites? Like going back and try to figure that out.
I mean, weakening him sounds nice.
Yeah.
No, I think we're all on the same page on that, right? Like we want to weaken and confront Strahd.
Also, just a heads up, the third stone that you guys saw at Yester Hill, I don't think I got to, but it was a raven-headed woman.
Oh.
And that's also where you guys saw a white raven.
Oh, wow.
And we saw a black raven on top of the fall city or something, right?
Yeah.
And then it flew towards
Or mended.
Vallaki.
Did we not pin our shared document? Or
Oh, the
You know
note.
what? I don't think we
The Google
do
Doc?
have it.
Yeah.
did one of us like make like a quest log basically or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here. That can
It's
be.
the. I think he just
Pinned.
posted-
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I need like
A refresher.
it's like playing an MMO where like you've heard of all these quests and stuff, and I can't like I was like not double checking like where they are in the information because there's like 20 quests.
Yep.
Dude, this is so cool. Holy hell. You named them all too.
Yeah, I'll am I cool to share it on stream real quick?
I love this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna share it on stream real quick.
Okay.
This is for reference. This is the the Google Doc that they've been using to track their stuff.
Hey, you're finally awake. Okay. It's not a rock. It's not a rock is not the same thing. Stone obelisks are not the same thing as the corrupted sites, right?
Well, I think we didn't have any definition between the two. So it does reference that whole idea.
I see. Let's see. I'm doing this only out of character because I'm trying to like get it straight in my head because there's a lot of things I'm trying to like remember. So we want to confront Strahd, right? Because like that's what I thought we were gonna do. I just remember in one of our sessions we were talking about like someone said that like not everyone had a beef with Strahd, that we didn't want to like necessarily fight him.
It was me. Yeah.
So we're not all on the same page about like whether or not we want to confront or fight Strahd.
I think
I would say-
everyone.
Alistair certainly doesn't have enough. But also Alistair's a problem in his own right. But he's just going to
Yeah.
follow you guys. So if you guys decide that, then
Okay.
Well, because Strahd, like, tempted you with, like, knowledge, right?
yeah,
That what,
I was yeah.
So,
Alistair played lackey for a bit.
Okay. Well, then we'll have this discussion now because it's important because then we can figure out what we want to do after that because I think we have enough information to figure out how we want to proceed for different things. We just need to decide what we're gonna do.
yeah.
So Adumi will probably chime in and say, so are we're all on the same page about destroying Strahd, right? It seems like he's the source of or at least the champion and the reason why we're stuck here from the powers at play.
Well, I think vampires technically the reason we're stuck here, but yes, all of the above. At least that's what I want to do.
Strahd, because Strahd is the vampires champion.
Yeah.
I might not be
We can't
understanding
kill
this
him
correct.
if,
And if
like,
we take him out, they replace him with a different champion, or
But
That was kind of my understanding, right? With
but
Talking to-
we're only stuck here because the vampires are messing with Strahd and not allowing him to escape. But if they had a different champion, they wouldn't necessarily keep everyone here in Barovia.
or if he
So
had
do
no
you-
champion, is there a time for us to leave? If he can't funnel power through someone?
my understanding is that the only reason that this realm, this plane, exists is to punish or put Strahd through his own personal hell.
And so if
Once-
Strahd is gone,
If the loop is eliminated, the thing with Irina, it would fall back, maybe? I don't know. Also, who knows where this is on the prime material? if it even is on the prime material.
It seems like our best chance of getting out of here is to remove Strahd from power. Unless we want to fight a god.
No.
In which case,
No.
then we can try becoming powerful enough to fight a god.
We have to. Sorry, I just above table. I rewatched the not rewatched. I watched because I didn't rewatch it. Part of the video from last time, and I think it was a Doonby that was asking about killing Strahd. We have to kill him and also stab him in his in his coffin.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
Yes.
he told him, find Strahd's coffin and stick the coffin while he's reforming.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you kill Strahd, it doesn't actually kill him. You have to. He'll go to his coffin, and you have to relocate. You have to locate his coffin and actually be able to defeat him in his coffin.
Which I think we
Yeah.
got that from the Van Richten book too.
Yes.
Oh.
Buried a lot of vampire JoJo type stuff.
So, Mim says, so we need to weaken Strahd, and then kill him, and then kill him again in his coffin. So we need to find his coffin. So the main things are coffin, and then the other things that weaken Strahd. Sounds easy enough. I think we could do that in like a day or two.
Yeah.
Irina, how do you feel about all this?
I'll be honest, it's overwhelming. What do we know about these champions? These, if it's true that what you say is that Barovia is meant to be Strahd's own personal prison, for lack of a better term, by removing the prime prisoner, do we just doom the land? Does that what if Barovia's only purpose is to torture Strahd, what happens when Strahd is removed from the equation? Is Barovia truly free, or does everyone fade into nothingness? Are we destroyed? Is there a new champion that arises? I feel like we're missing a great deal here.
And I don't see how we can possibly know what the answer to that would be, but our best chance of understanding that would be to ask Mr. E. So if that's important to you, then we should go back.
Is it worth
Best guess
asking?
is-
Well,
that's up to you.
I already asked him that.
Oh, did you?
How to put Vampire back in his amber vault. And he said, I don't know, at least to us, that it wasn't possible. He said there were so many people involved the first time. He didn't think it could be done again.
Then I guess that leaves the question of, is the realm Vampir's realm, or is the realm merely subject to Vampir's influence? Does that make sense? Is this just a toy box, and if the child is removed, is the toy box shut, or is the toy box left to its own devices? Because there are hundreds of innocent people here. Families and children and women and men that...
Well, but Barovia was here before all this happened.
Yes,
Right.
that's true.
But all that it is it's now just trapped. So,
So the best
why would it
guess is
disappear?
it does land back in the prime material, but
What is the prime material, by the way?
Or the real world?
Wait, we're not
well,
in the real world.
The logic connected one. For
Is this
some
a magic
people.
thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it's a magic thing.
Okay.
You catch on
Well, then-
very quickly.
I'm just going to let it be.
best guess is the mist falls and Barovia can parlay with everything outside again. But
I'm just concerned that what if the mist doesn't fall and instead the mist envelops everything I've ever known?
That's a fair wonder. But from as long as I've known you, you have not been one to shy away from risks.
Well, risks
To be
for
able to
myself,
save.
perhaps, but risks for
Risks for
everyone
others.
else that's another question entirely.
it might also be that Vampire looks for a new champion. The whole champion thing is just warlocks with a bad deal.
Well, they might look for another champion, but if we remove one champion and Barovia gets back to the prime material, and the Vampire choose another champion for some other means, at least all the people in Barovia have escaped, and so have we. And we can't deal with the Vampire, but at that point, if we want to stop the Vampire, then we would have to be strong enough to defeat gods, which I don't know if we're in a position to be able to do. All we can do is free ourselves and save Barovia if we can.
We can barely defeat a giant bird.
We can barely defeat a giant bird, but I feel like trying to defeat Strahd and save Barovia is a little bit more feasible than trying to defeat a god.
What do you think Esmeralda's plan really was? When she
kill
wanted
Strahd?
No, because she said she wanted to, like, ambush him, right?
Yes, she said she wanted to ambush him, which I'm not sure how that would work because I don't know how far away Strahd needs to be from his coffin.
Do you think she has a plan for instead of at the Abbey, if she were to do that in the castle?
Oh, what are
Honestly,
you trying to say?
It would be nice to know someone who's planned longer than we have.
Well, I think so, but okay, if we want to defeat Strahd, we have to be able to weaken Strahd, because fighting Strahd, just normally does not seem like a good idea. He has immense amount of power from multiple different things, and so even if we were to ambush him, which was her plan, I don't think that she was powerful enough by herself to be able to significantly threaten Strahd. She did not seem like she was that strong. I'm sure she had a plan, but a foolish one is what I think.
I'm no stranger to those types of plans. Those types of plans are all or nothing. And, yeah, she wasn't coming out of that.
I think we are in a unique position where we are one of the few people the only people on this plane to know what actually is Strahd's weakness. I think people might not like Strahd and want to defeat him, but I fail to see how she would know more than we do at this very moment. Although there is one group that might know something. Mr. E did tell me of a... do you remember at... what was that town called? With Lady Wachter and everything?
Valaki.
Valaki?
Do you remember Valaki? And the group that we that helped us at the tavern.
They've already told us they don't want to get involved.
Yes, but they Mr. E told me they were a old organization of were-ravens that have been in a struggle against Strahd, and they most likely didn't want to help us because they didn't know if they could trust us. But told me that if there's anyone that had information or more knowledge about Strahd that we need that could help us, it would most likely be them if we could gain their trust.
Don't you
A
think?
good way to gain their trust would be to go and get that other seed for them, the other gem.
The gem.
Well, they're still
Which-
missing two.
Gem? Sorry, can you guys refresh me on that part?
The
gem
Wizard of
was-
Wine's gems. There were 3 stolen from the Wizard of Wines that allowed them to make wine. One was taken to Yesterhill and was put in Winter Splinter to animate the giant statue,
which we recovered, right?
which you recovered. And then
And we
one.
sent it, when we sent it to them.
Yes, you guys brought it back and
Yeah.
and returned it to them in person.
It was the worst wine too.
And they did not. Was that before or after we talked to them about, asked them about like,
That was
allying with
what
us?
convinced. That was what convinced Davian to give the white feather to Sten. Which
And the white
then,
feather was
The white feather.
Feather got us.
Repaired their family, essentially.
It also let them allow us to know about their group.
So they let us know about their group, but they didn't trust us any further. And so basically, it's like if we got more for them, then
Well,
maybe
they kind of
would.
said like, we'll have your back, kind of, but we
But,
don't want to pressure anything because we've been on this trail for so long.
Yeah.
It was a big
Yeah.
find us in the end type moment.
Yeah, and we've gotten a lot more information and we've gotten a lot more powerful. So
Alistair, it's funny how you parallel all of these things almost to like a RPG game mechanics of
Yeah.
like,
A tabletop RPG?
but basically, essentially they were like, we've been gathering information. We don't have the forces to face this down on our own. We can't put ourselves at risk, but
if you need aid in some way and we can actually help you with it, then just let us know.
Yes, and also
By the
we keep an eye on things in general, and we'll continue to keep an eye on you to help where we
Yeah,
can.
they in general have been following us around.
What was the?
They
what
just don't
was
want to
the,
expose themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have written down how to defeat Strahd. We want to weaken Strahd, which requires us to destroy the 3 Fane sites. We need to locate his coffin. We need to collect the artifacts from our fortune. I don't remember if all the stuff on our fortunes were artifacts or if they were just like different things that we need to do that would help us weaken Strahd.
Yeah,
So,
we
like,
have 1.5. So we lost one.
Can you remember the? Oh, fuck, I forgot to plug in my headset. 1 sec.
Also, real quick, before we dive into the artifacts, just a clarification point. It's not that you want to destroy the Fane
Sorry,
sites.
I'm back.
No worries.
I couldn't hear.
I said just one quick clarification before we dive into artifacts. It's not that you want to destroy the Fane sites. It's the fact that essentially.
Did I say destroy?
Yes.
I said restore. I said restore.
I thought you said destroy.
Oh,
So we're
I have
restored.
written down restore the 3 Druid Fane sites. That's what
Okay.
I,
Yeah.
sorry.
Basically,
Yeah.
he desecrated them. It would be reconsecrating them.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I said
so
restore. I'll change it to reconsecrate.
We have the tome. No, we had the tome. We copied it over. We had the amulet, and then it got taken.
Can
And then
you
we
do you have like the list of like all the things that she told? Because we got a new fortune, right?
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
It's
at
in the
very
notes.
top.
It's at the top.
Yeah.
To the top.
Yeah.
Oh, so I see. I scrolled through that. The
It
Torah
says
of the
Madame
Deck.
Ava reading, and underneath it says Esmeralda.
So the first reading, yes.
Our original plan when we picked up Casimir was to go back to Berez because it had 2 points, or go towards Berez because the swamps had a gem, and then it had the witch Baba, which we had just come off of doing Strahd's little spy quest and caught wind of that. And so even talking with Mr. E, it seems like she doesn't like him so much, and it's very clear that he does not enjoy her after being mad at Valenta. So I don't know if that's still on the table.
We got Lady Walker's treasure, right? That was the tome that gave us a bunch of information. The one that you read.
That's correct.
We haven't restored the Druid site, which was the corrupted tree.
Well, there was a location to find it, so we did find the symbol there. The amulet.
Oh, we found the holy symbol. Oh, that was that was the amulet, but then we lost it. You said.
Yeah, so that's why it's unchecked again.
And Strahd has it currently, right?
Best guess is yes.
Yeah.
And then the trader was the Wizard of Wines, Weapon of Vengeance. We have this. We have the sword, but we don't have the blade.
We'll never have the blade.
The blade does not exist.
Okay. Or the blade was inside you the whole time.
It was his sword was broken, and then he thought, oh well, that's definitely not gonna emit any sunlight flame for sure.
Why is Rictavio considered the artifact?
So they all came with like a short summary of like a hint of
they
what
had
they
a
are.
title, a summary, and then like this is this card.
I will
This
read
this
the
will be an
original.
ally.
It was
And Rictavio was the
Ally
his-
against darkness.
Ally against darkness, the
and
artifact card.
And that's
Look for
Strahd. That was
entertainment.
Strahd's like right hand man, right? Or was
No.
that-
No, it was
It was
supposed to be
different.
ours. But he
Yeah, but
turned
then
out
we
to
got
be
the
a
new-
fucking dick.
Well, we also got a new reading, and
Yeah.
so you know.
So
Yeah, and then we
literally,
got-
the description was: "Look for an entertaining man with a monkey. This man is more than he seems."
And
It doesn't say
Rictavio's the one
artifact.
No, that's the artifact card.
But yeah, so
like
the
Oh,
Taroka
sorry.
deck, when we did the drawing, the card was the artifact.
And sorry, Shasha, you were saying something?
I was just gonna say Rictavio was the one who gave Blinsky the monkey first place. So we originally thought it was
Gotcha.
Blinsky, but then
It was actually Rictavio. And then we got a new reading. So these were on our original readings, but what
Yes.
was,
Yeah.
what was our
Yeah, the
new
top one is no longer accurate. You want to look at the Esmeralda rating.
This was the card.
Esmeralda rating? Oh, sorry, the Esmeralda rating. So the trader we did already. The paladin, sleeping prince, servant of life. We don't know who that is.
we clarified that would be in Sergei's tomb with the Lich.
Sergei's tomb with the Lich.
And so we tried copying down I guess they're more catacombs.
This guy, that one that we just talked to, this
Yeah.
Lich.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I got a riddle for you. And I read that. And he goes, oh, that's definitely Sergei.
The treasure lies with him. Then what treasure did we get that we needed?
Well, that is still along the lines with the amulet.
Yeah, that will be the amulet.
The-
That's where he put it after he stole it from us.
The holy
He put
symbol.
it back with Sergei.
Yeah.
Oh, and we didn't find the amulet with Sergei.
No. So we found it, then it got taken, and then we have a new reading, which if we had already completed it, didn't change our future. But it changed other futures of ones we hadn't accomplished yet.
Gotcha. So we can't do the paladin.
No, that we have to do that now. Unless we
that's
get
the
a
one-
Oh.
new reading that says
Yeah,
something
we
else.
can't do druid, because we already did it.
Sorry,
And
I guess I'm confused. Is the guy that we just talked to not the Lich, the brother of darkness?
The brother of darkness is the brother of Strahd.
Yeah, are we not saying that this guy was Strahd's brother that Strahd like fucked with and locked him down for all eternity? I thought that was what we were saying that happened.
Yeah, that's Sergei.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Aren't we saying that this guy that we just talked to, Mr. E, is Sergei? I thought that's what that was.
No,
Oh, no.
No.
That was one of the wizards who were protecting
Strahd.
the Ember Temple,
Oh, okay.
who went some kind of crazy.
I think where your confusion lies was Sten said that he specifically said, who would be a sleeping prince, servant of light, brother of darkness, to the Lich, to try and see if the Lich might be able to solve it.
and he said
And the Lich
Sergei,
said,
so
that would probably be Sergei.
and
Gotcha,
we
gotcha.
learned that Sergei was buried in the castle.
It's buried
So-
in Castle. Gotcha.
We have a general map of the catacombs, but we have no clue whereabouts that is, other than below the castle.
I mean, there's only one castle. But
Speaking of, I need
The
to give you guys a
execution.
map of that.
the executioner, a dark figure on the balcony, looking up on his torture lamp with a dark twisted smile. Isn't that just Strahd, or is that?
So basically, my understanding of that card is it's where Strahd's going to be. It's where the final battle's going to happen.
Yeah. So our flavor text on the first one was creature of darkness, our enemy. Do we find him here?
Isn't the Dark Lord and the Executioner the same thing though?
No, the Dark Lord card is, hey, you have no friends. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, and the executioner is, this is where he's gonna be.
So the name of the card.
We have to fight him in his castle.
So the names are literally the cards, so I can show you the cards.
Like they could be like Queen of Hearts or something.
Yeah, it's essentially a tarot deck, right?
Yeah, no. I was just they were just two separate entries, so I was just just reading the title of the entry.
So here's the two cards.
Gotcha. Basically, one is the location and one is who it is. So the only thing from the tarot cards that we really have left is we need to get the amulet from it, and that's with Sergei, which is in Strahd's castle.
Yeah, we feel confident we've narrowed down where that could be.
Okay, and so that's in Strahd's castle, which is kind of difficult because if we want to fight Strahd, we also have to be in his castle. Location fight. Okay, so we have to weaken Strahd, which is reconsecrate the 3 Druid Fane sites. We have to locate his coffin. We have to find we have to get the amulet. And then we have allies with the Raven Guild if we want to see how they can help us out.
We have to put a lot more work into that if we did that.
Oh, well, the ally with the Raven Guild overlaps, right? Because if we want to get the crystals, then we have to go to some of the Druid Fane sites anyway, which we would want to do to weaken Strahd.
Well,
so that's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because we want to reconsecrate one of the.
We know that. I don't know about that. So we know that Baba took one, but we don't know that there's a Fane where she is.
We also might get information from Baba.
Yeah, if she's cool.
If she's, I don't know if she's cool.
I just feel like the Raven Guild is our. Okay, so there's 2 things that we need to do, which is we need to get the amulet and we need to locate his coffin, and they're both in the same place. And so we only have 2 options for that. Yeah, they're both in the castle. And so we either have to go back to Strahd's castle and find it ourselves, or we have to see if the Raven Guild is someone that can help us with that, because they're a bunch of spies and shit, and they might have information. And when I asked Mr. E, he said they'd been around trying to like mess with Strahd for like a long ass time, and so that might be some information that they know, but they just can't do anything about because they're not fighters. So if that's something that they can help us with, then I would say we can put more work into it. But if not, then we can just do the rest of the stuff ourselves. But I feel like the easy, like the low hanging fruit, is to go to Vallaki and ask the Raven Guild if that's something that they can help us with.
Well, we wouldn't be asking. We would probably be asking Davian, because he's head of their group.
Isn't Davian in Vallaki, or?
No,
Davian's
Wizard Alliance.
The Wizard Alliance. That's even better, because we need to go to the Wizard Alliance anyway, right? To reconsecrate one of the Druid sites.
Well,
we don't know where any of the Druid sites are. We don't know if the
we only know where the
collection of
rocks
stones.
that tell the story are.
Is it okay?
I do have the locations. That's what I asked Mr. E. That's what Ryan gave that to me the last session we had.
Where all the locations are?
Yeah, I had it written down in my biography, but all my biography stuff is gone right now this week, Ryan. I don't know why, but
that's weird.
I don't know if you can send that to me again. But I had it written down. I just don't see it. I'm just gonna put it in my document. All right, I'll put it in the shared document, to be honest.
Okay.
Let me see.
So there is one at the swamps. Is that what you're saying?
Let me check something.
There was the spider bitch. There was the Fane that we already know, which was at Yester Hill. Because it's the 3 Fanes. So we've only seen one, as far as as far as I remember, and one of them was at Yesterhill, and then the other 2 were locations, but I can't. He told me like he described the locations, but I didn't actually know where they were on the map yet, so I haven't looked at the map. But like, I have to wait. When Ryan gives me the descriptions again, I'll.
Yeah, let me look and see if I can find what I said, because I don't want to misquote.
Yeah, sorry, because I wrote it. I 100% remember that I wrote it down, unless I just don't remember where I wrote it down. I thought I wrote it down in my biography. Is there like a save button that I'm supposed to hit for this?
In your biography, when you do a change, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't click the save thing. I just wrote it. I just typed it out and then I closed the window.
I don't see this.
So
he was just talking to me and I was just taking notes.
yeah.
And I just didn't click the save button because I clicked edit and then I started writing my biography and then I just closed the window when our session was done. I didn't save it.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I was just saying I didn't see a save, but now it's good to know.
Yeah.
Todd, when you were watching the episode, did you see that section?
I don't remember.
That was towards the end.
It was towards the end. Let me see if I can just find it in the episode.
Was it when you went? Okay, so you went back after.
It was the very last thing. Yeah. I went.
Yeah, after Alistair did his stupid thing.
And I was talking to him, and then I asked him a couple more questions, and then I handed him a piece of parchment that I was told Ryan that I was going to give him the exact wording on what it was
I found
gonna
the
be.
conversation. Let me see if I can. I'm going to deafen myself just so that I can hear it while you guys discuss, and let me see if I can find the exact section so I can repeat it.
A few moments later.
That's true. Then we can kind of get our best guess on where the coffin is.
That's kind of what I was like. Should we? Oh,
you know what's silly is I went through that whole last conversation looking for it, and it's right at the beginning, and he talked to you about the Fanes in an earlier conversation, so now I have to find that conversation. Because he like mentions the Fane in that last conversation where you got all the like a bunch of info. He mentions the Fanes to you, and you're like, yes, you already talked to me about the Fanes, and then he was like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, and then, like you move on.
Well, could we just... because we had 2 conversations, and because the role play for him was that he just like keeps talking about stuff.
Exactly.
Is like I think we talked about this for like probably half an hour, so maybe we should just do it later.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Could we just like pop back in right now? Say we talk to him, and we're like, hey, on this map, can you mark where these are? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to.
That's true.
Just to save time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys head back into the temple.
And Mim announces, wait, who? Heinrich?
Heinrich.
Ah, we're coming back in. Don't shoot us with a fireball, please and thank you.
Well, from the angle that you guys are going, you wouldn't have to go past Heinrich, but you would have to go past the 3 flame skulls.
Nah. Let's go in the front door.
How big was the drop behind the statue? Oh, you're still muted.
Me?
No.
If we all just dash through that, they might hit us, but if we get to him, they're inert, right?
How tall is that jump? Because I can...
So it's 30 feet to the center floor.
I can fly.
30 feet. Yeah, we could just have Mim fly and bring the map.
I also could go in and have him...
Just tell Mim, yeah.
But like also Acorn speakerphone me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of that idea. Just send someone that can like get through it without hassle, and then we'll get the information that we need, because like because like we can do it. It's just we're just doing this so we can save time, right? Because like we just want to ask. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. So Mim, you fly in through the front door. You call out to Heinrich, Mr. Heinrich, please don't shoot me. And you fly through across to. Yeah, I'm just gonna. We'll just zoom out here. And you fly across the whole floor up to that balcony. And then through from that balcony, head into the statue room which you don't have to save because you've already saved from.
Thank God.
And you make it into this room. And you start knocking furiously. At which point, after a few moments, the door opens and you see this lich standing before you. Oh, hello. Pardon me. Did I invite you here? Are you a guest of mine?
Yeah. We actually were just here a little bit ago, me and my friends. We had some questions for you. You were giving us questions because we're seeking knowledge, and so
Oh, a knowledge seeker.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
of course. How can I be of service to you?
Well, can I come in?
Oh, of course. Come in. My apologies. How terribly rude of me.
Thank you. I put the map down on the desk.
Oh, a map of Barovia.
Yeah. And then I bring out my acorn and I say, "Hey, friends, can you hear me?"
Yes, loud and clear.
What a marvelous contraption. Is that a magic acorn?
Yeah.
Did you enchant it yourself?
You know, long story. I'm not saying I did or didn't. But anyway, the map. We were actually wondering. We were looking for the sites for the Fanes, right?
Oh, the Fanes. Yes, of course. There are 3 of them.
Yeah. Can you mark them down on the map? We're just doing a little bit of sightseeing and knowledge seeking throughout Barovia.
Oh, specifically as in like the when you say mark them on the map, you don't mean the Fane themselves, you mean the temples of the Fanes, correct?
All of the above? Y'all are on speakerphone, so you can answer too, you know.
Yeah,
Sorry,
desecrated locations. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, hello, Mr. E.
Oh, hello. Who's? Oh, wait, Mr. E. Who's Mr. E?
Yeah, that's you. We nicknamed
I'm
you that.
Mr. E.
Yeah,
Well, that
that's your
doesn't
name. Do you
seem
remember?
quite right. Oh, my name is.
Eggsy something. Yes, we.
Yeah, something. So we call you Mr. E for short. Anyway, the temple, yes.
Oh, yes, of course. Apologies. Let's see. So, well, there's the mountain Fane, and the mountain Fane specifically. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Am I
He's
in the
turned
right?
to speaking abyssal.
Here we are. Let's see. So.
Do.
Apologies, I'm seeking this from my memory.
Yeah, that's okay. Take your time. We don't have anything important going on.
This is not the direction I expected this session to go, naturally. All right, here we are. Oh, yes, of course. So, the Forest Fane is located here, and he circles here. I'll pull up the map.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Please hold for just 1 second. I'm just reading a quick thing.
Oops.
And So he marks right here. If I can use text. Here you go. The Force Fane is marked here. This would be the location. There's a Stonehenge there, very important. And when you go there, you'll need to reach out. This is the Fane of the Seeker specifically. She's a little bit of a wily one, difficult to get hold of, but probably the shyest of the three. Difficult to gain her trust. But this is where the Force Fane would be. And then, as for, there's the Mountain Fane, and then there's also the, I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through things very quickly, and I keep losing my place. Yes, so that would be the Mountain Fane. And then, here... Wait, I'm sorry. No, that's the Forest Fane. I'm mixing up my thing. The Mountain Fane is at the base of Yesterhill. That would be here, and there's another Stonehenge there. And then the last one, there is a Stonehenge deep in the swamps of Berez. And that you can find around well, it seems you have some markings here already, but I'll put another one here. Here it is. This would be the Swamp Fane. Now, the Swamp Fane... the Swamp Fane is tied to, let's see, the Weaver. There's the Seeker, the Weaver, and the Huntress. The Huntress is tied to Yesterhill. The Seeker is tied to the Forest Fane, and the Swamp Fane would be the Weaver. It is the Seeker, correct? Let me,
You said the Forest Fane was the Fane of the Seeker.
Yes, that's good, correct. Forest Fane is Seeker, the Swamp Fane is the Weaver, and the Mountain Fane is the Huntress. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Hold on.
I chiseled this in stone, and it'll have to be.
There's like eraser marks all over the map now. Do we as a group know how to consecrate places?
I was going to get on the acorn to have you ask that.
Okay, that was
wait until he answered, yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Glad we're on the same page.
I think this is an error. This doesn't make sense, so I'm going to change it. The swamp is still...
Swamp Weaver.
The Swamp Fane is still here, but these two are switched. The Mountain Fane should be...
probably be that. Mountain.
If I can select to save my life, please. This should be the Forest Fane. And this should be the Mountain Fane. That it doesn't make any sense the other way. Let me just get rid of the...
Are the ladies still tied to those? So Huntress and Mountain go together?
So Huntress would be Forest. Mountain would be Seeker. Swamp would be Weaver. Because that's the iconography that's used everywhere else. So I don't know why those are mixed up here. But...
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, wait. Swamp is still the Weaver?
Swamp is still the Weaver. So Swamp is the Weaver regardless. For whatever reason, the mountain is, and the mountain iconography is associated with the Seeker continuously, and the Forest is continuously associated with the Huntress. And I don't know why they had them swapped there, but this is correct.
Okay, Huntress. Okay. So you said when you go there to you need to reach your hand out?
Oh no, you don't have to reach your hand out. You have to. It depends on the Fane. Which are we talking about specifically?
All three.
Well, pick one because they're all different.
Okay. All right, Swamp Fane first.
Okay, so the Swamp Fane. So the Swamp Fane. Oh, that one's a bit of a toughie. You see, there's a woman who's desecrated the entire swamp over there named Baba Lysaga, and Baba Lysaga is a wicked witch. And unfortunately, she has tainted much of the magic that fills the swamp. In order to reconsecrate the Swamp Fane, you would need to remove that corruption, which would mean that not only would you have to kill Baba Lysaga and remove any sort of magical influence she has in the realm, but you would have to take her heart and present it to the Swamp Fane in order to restore the power of the Weaver to essentially allowing her to consume the power of Baba Lysaga and reclaim it as her own. A dark ritual it is.
Are the Fanes dark and beings? Are they evil?
Well, not necessarily, but I mean they are prime deities. There's some sacrifice and offerings involved. In general, consecration requires a few basic steps that are consistent. You must honor the name of the Fane that you are reconsecrating in the name of. You must in some way indicate that this is in their favor. And then let's see. You must be at the correct location, of course, and in a place that is centered to their power and their influence. And then you need to provide some sort of basic offering, which depends on the location, but the swamp would require Baba Lysaga's heart, unfortunately.
Wait, so what do we have to do with the other ones then?
But which one? As I said, they're all different.
The Forest.
All right, so the Forest is the Fane of the Huntress, and you see the Huntress is a particularly vicious Fane, somebody who believes in the power of bestial primal powers and nature. Generally, for her, her ritual is traversing through a sort of trial, so to speak. It is a path through the land of the dead, where you must reconcile with both lost loved ones and deal with angry undead spirits, atone for the wrongdoings and put them at ease. You see, the Huntress is not one for unnatural things, and the undead are particularly an insult to her and her ilk, and so restoring balance to nature in her name is considered to be her offering, and it is a hefty trial. It is not a small feat to accomplish.
Oh god. Alright, and the Mountain Fane?
The Mountain Fane, yes, of course. So the Mountain Fane is that of the Seeker, who I said, as before, is one of the Shire of the Fanes. Getting in contact with her might be a little bit more difficult, but generally, let's see here, blah blah blah. You see, the Seeker. Not only is she the shyest of the Fanes, but she's also one who deals with destiny and the future, looking into one's potential and oneself, and the myriad of ways of which your choices affect the world around you. facing down her fane involves facing the darkest parts of oneself. It is arguably the most difficult trial.
Cool. Sounds like really easy.
Hey, Mr. E, this is Stanton.
Oh my
you
goodness, a talking
coming from the
acorn.
Just a quick question. In your conversation, is these trials relegated to one person, or is it a group thing?
I imagine it would probably be. I imagine it would be for all present. But to be honest, it's never something I've personally pursued. It's possible that some of the trials might separate you individually, or it's possible that you might all face it down. You all may even face it down together, should you choose to attend together. I'm not quite sure. The Fanes are fickle beings. They are. Although they are immortal in their own way, that does not make them flawless.
Okay, thank you.
I have to admit, this is a fascinating acorn you have. Was that all your questions?
No, I thought we had something else, did we? Thought there was one more thing.
I noticed you have some question marks on this map. Is there anything that I might be able to provide some information on?
Of course, what did the question marks mean? I don't remember what the question marks were about. Let me look. I'm at the Google.
We put the question marks before we had left. So Argenvost told we briefly knew about from Casimir as we passed by. We're like, what is that? But we learned a little bit more. Solanka Pass, or we didn't have a name for it. And so we were looking at different locations, and we had heard briefly about the temple. So we were wondering, this bridge or whatever, what is that? Ravenloft has a big question mark because at the time we were, what do we do with that? And then
and this is all
there's a question mark
right?
at Velaki. I think that was Hermes' request of should we check in what's going on up there.
So are there any of those things you'd like to know more about or no? I'm just saying he would notice. He as a character would be like, oh, there's information that could be filled in.
What did you say about Argenvost? Question mark?
What's there?
Yeah.
What can we do?
Did we know where the last gem is?
We have a brief description that they went towards somewhere.
Well, no. So
Like
one of
away.
them. So you're missing two, and one of them
Yeah, we know one's
they
in the
believe
swamp.
was taken to the swamp. The other one has been missing for so long they don't know where it is.
We didn't ask him about it then, did we?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So yes, more questions. Yay, knowledge. Do you know the gems? The fancy. There's 3 of them. That they go at the Wizard of Wines place.
Oh, the
Do you
Wizard
know
of
them?
Wines. Yes, of course. Those were gifted by Strahd to the well, it wasn't the Mordekainen family at the time. It was a different family. Their name escapes me now, but they owned the winery. It was a gift to allow them to raise vital crops that they could process into beautiful, delicious wine. Of course, yes.
Yeah. Wait, so Strahd gifted those?
Yes, it was a gift to the family. I mean, as I said, it was a different family than the Mordekovs. The Mordekovs ended up marrying into the family and taking over the winery once the other line died off. But I'm trying to remember the name of them. It wasn't the Wachters. It wasn't the Dursts. It was another name.
The going back to our character.
Ulyanovich?
It's not
Just maybe different
Mordecai.
families.
Von Holt. Balakovich.
Tazarovich? Could you imagine? Ugh.
Oh, yes, the Kreskov family. That was it.
Oh.
And they married in. Remember that family? But
Oh, you don't remember the Kreskovs. The Kreskovs, they founded Kresk.
Oh.
Some of their relatives
Yep.
still live there.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Was the mayor guy of Crest one of them? Or no? But okay. They married in.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So here's the dealio is one of those has been missing for a really long time.
One of the gems.
Yes.
Oh, what a tragedy.
Yeah. Do you happen to know maybe who would be interested in taking a gem or where it might have gone? Who would be greedy?
Well, they are very powerful magical artifacts. If someone were to take them, it would be naturally for some sort of magical pursuit of great import. I can't imagine what, but the magic is a very powerful form of vitality. There'd be a number of ways in which you could apply such magical forces.
Great.
But I'll be honest, this is news to me. I wasn't aware that one of them was stolen. I haven't been to the Wizard of Wines in a number of decades.
Well, so actually, 2 were gone, and we returned. Wait, 3 were gone. We returned 1, or
All
they already
3
had.
of them were stolen. Oh my!
Yeah. Yeah.
But you returned 1. Good for you.
Yes, we returned 1. We know the location of the second one, but we don't know the third one. The third one's apparently been missing a lot longer than the rest.
Interesting.
So we'll have to figure that out, I guess.
Hey, table question. Do we know how long the Kreskovs have been having the issues of their kids fucking dying?
Isn't it that the Abbott thing, or no? Oh, no.
You could presume.
Not only Mal
Since
went
there were-
back and did their little thing. I
That's
don't think
true.
she
Oh,
did
do
it
we
once.
not? Do characters
know
not
that-
know that?
I don't think
we-
so.
I
Shit.
thought-
Okay,
She
never mind then.
mentioned that he brought the kid back. I think because she was.
Well, there was. Yeah,
Torn
she was
up about
upset
it.
about it.
Yeah.
She didn't
Yeah,
go
maybe
into
I don't have
detail
character
though.
knowledge of that.
But you guys did all.
We knew they
I
were
know you talked
great.
about. I know you talked about the fact that. Because there was the miscommunication about the werewolf thing of. You guys thought that the werewolves were killing the kids, and then you found out that the kids were dying of natural causes.
Yeah.
And there was a fight about that.
Well,
You
natural
also
causes.
would be able to put together that. So Dmitry Kreskov is the burgomaster of Kresk,
Right.
and he and his wife are alive, but you only saw the one. You only know about the one kid, and he mentioned. Give me a sec. Man, you guys are making me dig deep for lore today. In like stuff from like weeks ago.
It-
Please hold.
Welcome, internet, to Barovia theory.
Yeah, no joke. It's like okay.
Because I'm just saying with this Kreskov thing,
You
if the
would
Kreskovs knew about this power, right? Their family knew. Your kids keep fucking dying.
Ilya was
I'm
the
gonna go
last
find
of
this gem.
Ilya was the last of 4 children. All of which died.
Yeah, so the Kreskovs have this gem. I am convinced.
I could see that.
That's honestly a really good loop. Like we try
Yeah.
Forest Fane, see how bad these are, because there's nothing else involved in that other than facing the undead or whatever.
No big deal.
Then run up to Kresk and then circle back around to Berez. Like a little loop.
Circle back around to where?
So we go Yesterhill, Kresk to Berez. Like a little circle around there.
Yeah.
because if Berez also involves defeating a giant or a witch of great power.
Oh, in the swamp.
Maybe we grab a level or two before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think that's a. You know what? I think we need a current plan section in the Google Doc.
So I'm sorry, were there other questions that you had?
Hey friends, any other questions? I don't remember.
What's your name?
My name, of course. Wait a moment.
Why did you just send?
I was quoting a video.
Maybe we ask him what he knows of the Kreskov family.
Yeah. Well, you're on speakerphone, so.
What do you remember of the Kreskov family?
Oh, the Kreskovs. Well, the Kreskovs
yeah.
founded the village of Kresk. They originally were servants of Strahd many years ago, and they assisted in his some of his. But actually, hold on. Let me double check this before I.
Check your notes, Grandpa.
Let's see. So the Kreskov family is one of the oldest and most venerated of all families in Barovia. They were initially loyalists to Strahd and established the village of Kresk around naturally defensible hilltops. And they established a spring. They found a spring there that they consecrated in the name of the White Sun, in the name of the Morning Lord. But let's see, what else? They also formed a church that was meant to be an abbey of the Morning Lord, overlooking their town in order to hopefully bless their people. And the construction of the temple was named by a cleric who was a fairly zealous and widely regarded cleric named Markovia, who I believe became later considered a saint, although he was never really truly a saint by historical standards, but he was very protectful of the people, and I believe that the church in Velaki was also named after him, but I'm getting sidetracked. The Kreskovs helped take over the ownership of the Wizards of Wine winery, and allowed them to finance a series of shrines dedicated to the Morning Lord around Barovia. Until, of course, the Mordekainen family married into the Kreskov family and eventually took over the winery for themselves. But I believe, at least since everything that happened with Strahd and Barovia and his service to Vampire, the family seems to have distanced themselves from Strahd and the previous loyalist tendencies. They seem to... For lack of a better term, they seem to be having sort of a guarded neutrality in terms of politics outside of the village. They seem to be very focused on their people and their protective venture. And I think that was part of why they relinquished the Wizard of Wine's winery in the first place. Although I believe that they are still on good terms with the Mardekovs overall. Of course, there's been over decades and a few centuries of time that these shifts have occurred, but there's a sort of summary for you. Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, thank you.
I have a DM question.
Of course.
Can lycanthropy be passed down by birth, or do you have to go through the biting whatever?
It depends on the affliction. But both are viable. It depends on the type of lycanthropy or lycanthropy or whatever you say.
Okay. Interesting.
Also, Andar's in the chat.
Oh, hi,
Any
Andar.
Andars in the chat?
Andor?
Andar, you're talking real weird today.
I'm sorry.
You're also kind of quiet now.
I was trying to do an impression of at least the inflection, but I can't get your voice right.
You have the most North Dakota accent.
No.
Oh, they North Dakota. Ah, jeez.
I could get the
just wanted an excuse
blasé
to say-
nature. I could get the blasé nature, but that was about it.
Okay.
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
What the North Dakota?
All right. I don't know. That seems like a good plan. I like that plan.
So,
Test the waters, confront someone that we have unfinished business with.
Burn down Crest, got it.
Yeah. Check in on Mal, maybe.
Then burn her city down.
Uh-huh. And then the mini boss.
So, was there any other I see you still have a number of question marks on here. Is there anything else that I could provide some insight into? Perhaps.
Yeah, how do we get good?
How do we get good? Yeah, how do we get good?
What is get good?
Never mind.
You'll learn when you're older.
Mad Mage and Still Lake, did we want to ask anything about those? The exclamation points there?
So
they were just things we wanted to put.
Yeah, the Still Lake was something if we ever wanted to explore as just a curious phenomenon.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's nothing there. And then the Mad Mage was a story we had heard.
Right.
Yes.
But we do know that the Mad Mage had made an attack on Strahd or something. That's why he lost his mind or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
I think that was part of the story.
Yeah. That he like could challenge Strahd or whatever, and then he lost his mind and then went to his not castle, but like his tower.
The mountains of the north.
Yeah, and like no one has seen him since or whatever. Something like that.
That sounds right.
Yep. Excuse me again. One more question. Do you know anything about the mage that lives above this lake here?
Oh, the Mad Mage?
Yeah.
Well, that's Mordekainen.
Did we know that?
No. Well, not in game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mordekainen.
Yes, that's Mordekainen. Are you familiar with Mordekainen?
Question: are we familiar with Mordekainen? Are his books published? Do we know this?
Do I have a spell
roll me a
from
history
him right
check.
now?
Oh, I misspelled it, and Google Docs offered me a spelling. I was kind of... Oh, history check.
I mean, Andar for sure has to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's part. What is their circle? How many are in their circle? 7 or something like that.
All right, I'll say both of you have heard of Mordekainen. Mordekainen's a very famous wizard.
From our realm, right?
Let's look up the basic. I'll look up a basic description of Mordekainen. Mordekainen is from the Sword Coast originally. He's a prolific archmage from the world of Earth who was Earth Oerth. He's responsible for many powerful and useful spells. He's a human wizard of great renown.
So I guess DM question, as in how are you running your game? Is he from our realm or a different realm?
Like, would, I guess, in-game...
Oh, you're talking about Forgotten Realms stuff?
Yeah, so like, do our characters come from the Forgotten Realm, or do they come from a homebrew world that we do not know of?
Well, I think it depends on the character, right? Because Sten comes from the Feywild, and a Doonby... I feel like that's more of a you question than a me question. Like, where did your characters come from?
So I know that Andar and Alistair are from the same prime material, because I've heard of his town before.
Yes.
So I assume not from Forgotten Realms?
I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to be from the Forgotten Realms? Or do you want to be from Do you want to be
I
tied
feel like
into
this
a
is a
homebrew
lot
world?
of commitment for possible later stuff, right?
I'll admit, this was not an implication that I foresaw occurring, so...
This is a very large question for later things.
We can leave it open-ended. We don't have to decide right now. I'm just saying.
Let's leave that open-ended.
We'll leave that open-ended. But Sten is not from the Forgotten Realms. Sten is from the Feywild. This has been already established. But anyway. So yes, you'd heard of Mordekainen.
How did he get here?
Oh, well, he came to Barovia in an attempt to free the local population from Strahd, but he underestimated Strahd's power, and after barely surviving a confrontation, he lost the spellbook and his staff, eventually losing his memory and being driven to the brink of madness. So now he spends his time north of Mount Baratok, between transforming into a deer and also being a man on fishing from rivers and hiding in a small pocket dimension he set up for himself.
Interesting.
Most of the people don't know that it's Mordekainen. This is the mad mage up there, but yes, that's him.
Cool. Why? How did he lose against Strahd?
That's a good question. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Sorry.
Let's see.
These are
And the
my
most-
notes. This is a prayer book of the Morning Lord.
Do.
I wonder if Andar is intrigued by the fact that he lost his spellbook and staff, or spellbook at least.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I need a load screen today. My goodness.
Sorry.
Also, fun fact, it's Mordekainen.
Mordekainen. It's not Kainen?
I like
Apparently
Kaiden.
it's Mordekainen.
Mordekainen.
That's weird. Mordekainen.
Mordekaiser.
It's spelled that way. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. This might provide me some info. Here it is.
Oh, you
Well-
can thank
Sorry, go ahead.
Gygax for that shitty pronunciation.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So you see, the Mad Mage tried to confront Strahd, and Strahd drove him into the mountains and sent him hurtling over Ser Falls. And unfortunately, the fall was quite devastating and caused him to lose both the spellbook and staff over the waterfall, and then he retreated into the mountains hoping to regain his power, but instead he was driven mad by the realization that he no longer had any hope of defeating Strahd or freeing the people as long as he didn't have the tools, his tools at his disposal.
Oh.
And so as he recovered in health, he declined in mind, so to speak.
All right.
So,
Where's
wait, what happened to his book and stuff? I'm sorry.
Wait.
They
Was
were
zoned
lost
out?
over Ser Falls.
Sarah? Where's Sarah Falls?
Let me check my map.
Near
We've
the
passed
lake?
it, yeah?
Oh, we passed Sarah Pool.
Oh yes, it's down by that way, I believe. Let me see. Where's the map?
Is that in Kresk? That's the
Down
one in
by
Kresk?
that way.
Ser Falls. Yes, Barovia, Ser Pool, Ser Falls. H. Where's H? Oh yes, of course. Ser Falls are over here. Ding 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 ding. Oh, wait, hold on. It's not pinging properly. Please hold.
You want to just mark it? The label?
Ding, 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 ding,
Oh.
ding. It's a bridge over near Ravenloft. Over here.
Well, Andor, I think we're going back towards Barovia.
Eventually.
Let's see. I'll mark it with some text.
And the river goes east. It flows east. East, because the mountains, I would assume.
Yes. The river flows east. Dink. There you are. Labeled properly.
Yay.
Ding ding.
Now, were there any of these, any else that you wanted from this map?
So, Mordekainen lost his spellbook and staff and just said, well, that's it, I'm out.
Well, without his arcane focus and his spellbook, he was much less. You recognize that wizards pull much of the power from their spellbooks and their focuses. Without either, he was rendered to be a much less capable caster. Much of his studies and notes had been lost in the spellbook, and of course he knows basic magic and arcane abilities, but you would never be able to face down someone as powerful as Strahd without his tools, especially alone.
That makes sense. Andor hates swimming too.
Well, okay. Thank you. Any other questions?
I just don't find it necessary to get wet for no reason.
What about a powerful spellbook and staff?
That would be a reason.
All right. Any other questions?
Nope.
Any advice on how we would defeat someone who has a really powerful, cool gem?
Well, I guess it depends on what they're doing with the gem.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
So no more information on anything on the map. Last chance. Question marks, anything.
All good.
If
It's
we
one of those things where it's...
reconsecrate,
Huh?
if we reconsecrate the things, is that gonna weaken Strahd?
Are you asking him?
I'm asking speakerphone and him.
Oh yeah. He said that if we reconsecrate the Fanes, then that should weaken Strahd because he desecrated them a long time ago to gain power.
Oh, do you know any way that we could get into the catacombs of Ravenloft? Like from the outside, or going underground or something?
The catacombs are going under. Hold on. Repeat your question. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Is there any way to get into the catacombs of a castle from the outside, not going through inside the castle, just the catacombs?
Well, no. There's no external entrance to the catacombs, if that's what you mean.
Yes.
Also, there might be a chance that I shift something with these Fanes, because I realized that I have 2 pages. I'm not sure which one I like best yet. So there might be a chance that this shifts just because I mixed up my tabs, because this was not something I was prepared for today. Let's see.
All right.
I put a to-do list in the notes.
Thank you.
That's all good.
Also, I added Mordekainen and Dimitri to our character list. I don't know if we, but they're there.
Like characters that we know? Or
yeah,
like are aware of, you know?
Are aware of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's key characters, I think, is the section. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I just put them as
I've gotcha.
great.
How do you add a header to the outline?
If you go into normal text at the top bar.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I will say, here's what I figured out my my middle to make this work still. I will say there is a long forgotten I wouldn't call it a temple, but there's another set of obelisks that hasn't been as well traveled. It's specifically visited by the mountain folk, but it's up on the peak of Mount Gakis. It is specifically, and he takes the. Doop. He takes it and he marks up on the top. Far on the top of the mountain, there's a path that winds up, known as the Seeker's Folly. It's a treacherous ascent, but at the top of the mountain, there is another set of obelisks belonging specifically to the Seeker. I believe, considering that each obelisk, each set of obelisks seems to hold its own specific set of power, that this would also be tied to the Seeker. But as I said, she tends to be the most elusive and shy of the group, so I can't necessarily guarantee much. But if, for example, the obelisks at the old Durst windmill seem to be too far a travel, that would provide you a potential other option.
How many days travel would it be to get to this mountain obelisk
From
location?
here? Well, let's see. It would be... Oop, that's the wrong button, but that's a cool tool.
Meteor shower.
Let's see. It would be about...
Cast the wrong spell.
Oh my god. Oh, nice. Dude, our trip just got way easier. You flattened the mountains.
Yeah. Considering the treacherous ascent,
Maybe
I would
just
say
like
it's about a 2-day journey.
Oh.
Much
Not
higher than
that.
here, though.
Nice vacation home, I guess, for this Thane.
Anyway, any other questions? You seem to have a lot on your map here.
Yeah, we're trying to be really good, well-traveled travelers.
Well-traveled travelers.
The spirits, the walk that we saw, K9, did we figure out anything about that? Do we need to figure anything about that?
I think we were told that by Irina.
Yeah, I think it's just because like the spirits are like recycled, or their souls were recycled. It had something to
No,
do
they're
with that.
like they're marching back on the castle, but they can't do anything because they're ghosts, and so their spirits kind of trapped like that.
It's all the fallen adventurers that came before you.
Okay. Do you have to have any health potions somewhere in here, by chance?
Oh, I'm not a potion brewer myself. I'm more of a scroll writer, or a scholar, an arcane caster. Not much of
Do you
an
have
alchemist.
resurrection scrolls?
Resurrection scrolls. Well, I might somewhere. Where did I store those?
Okay, never mind. You probably don't. Also, is there actually anything in the chest out there by your door?
Oh, the chest outside. Well, did
Yeah.
you read it?
Well, I know that you said... Well, never mind. I think I remember you saying something about it.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind then.
The floor falls out, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, anything else, friends?
He looks around the room. Are there other people here?
There are other people in here. And I put the acorn over since no one responded. Okay, well, thank you. It's been really nice talking to you.
All right. Well, it was wonderful to meet you.
You as well.
I wish you best of luck with your magic acorn and your map.
Thank you. And I gather the map, and I guess I leave.
All right.
And bathroom break. At least for
Sounds
me.
good.
All right,
don't
that'll
know.
work.
I shouldn't call it. Our DM should call it. I'm leaving.
Do you guys want to do a quick bathroom break? I mean,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Then that's what we'll do. All right. So we're back. Are you guys finished with your notes section? Are there any other questions that anyone wants to ask?
So this is our to-do list. And then I'm just gonna do this and copy what I wrote down.
Mim, are you still in there, or did you leave?
I don't want to answer that truthfully.
Okay.
I was starting to head out. I asked if anyone had any other questions, and they didn't answer, so I put the acorn in my pocket.
Okay. At that point, as you're leaving, you're gonna be like, "Oh, by the way, if you do choose to go up the Seeker's Folly to the mountain, just be aware, there's a giant rock that defends the path that serves the Seeker. So just be aware of that."
Thank you for the warning. I just want to avoid a giant rock. Can they sneak?
Sneaking could potentially work. Invisibility would work. A distraction, perhaps. It is a giant bird. Anything that could distract a giant bird would be efficient.
Interesting. I haven't like completely put the map away, and I'm like looking at it. Also. We didn't kill the rock, but we killed the rock's babies, right?
Correct.
And we wounded the rock. Damn, that's scary. Cool. Really quickly before we leave, I was looking at the map, and there is one more question. What can you tell me about Argenvostholt with the castle? Because I mentioned maybe we could go there and use it as like our headquarters or something, but we don't know that much about it.
Well, Argenvostholt, at this point now it's haunted. But it was the home of the Order of the Silver Dragon, and there was a silver dragon that lived here and guided the order. They considered themselves the protectors of the valley prior to Strahd's arrival, and when Strahd arrived, they went to war with Strahd and unfortunately were slain in the process.
And is it haunted by them?
Yes, many of the spirits were unable to find rest due to their failed mission and their inability to protect the realm.
Well, that's really tragic. How does one help people find rest like that? Like, can we go help them, maybe?
Oh, I'm sure it's possible. Generally, putting spirits to rest is something that is capable of being done. But it depends on the spirits. It depends on their goals. It depends on their wants, their needs, their virtues, and what precisely is anchoring them to this realm that they consider to be undone or wronged. But there used to be a beacon on that castle, as I recall, a very powerful magical beacon.
What did it do?
That's a good question. Let me find out. I just remember it exists.
Where were the three locations for the gems that we needed to get for the if we decided to do that for them?
He didn't know the locations of the gems, but you guys know that one of them is the Mordekainen suspect. It was taken to the Brez swamps. The other one's been missing so long that they don't yet have a lead on it. I just need the table of contents. What's funny is this is what I thought the session would be like 2 sessions ago.
Hey, I asked a lot of questions 2 sessions ago.
It takes some time, you know. Like we roll up on this guy. We're
Also, I
like,
didn't-
oh, all his information. I'm like, oh, okay.
We
I didn't
talk
think
to the
about us
dark
pulling up the map.
powers.
You.
We
Talk to
break
them.
and release some.
Dude, part of me, well, me, not Sten, really wanted to fail that roll.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what would happen to Alistair so bad.
Well, you can go back
He
in
wouldn't
now.
have made the deal, but she might have fucking.
I don't think
Yeah.
you would have. Yeah, I don't think you would have had a choice at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what it is. Yes, of course. Now I remember. The leader of the so Argenville's told, as I said, was in service of a silver dragon. The dragon. Let me see if I can find. Oh yes, of course. That dragon's name was Argenvost. Foolish. Anyway, so the dragon's name was Argenvost, and he came to the valley in the guise of a nobleman named Lord Argenvost. And he considered the valley to be a place of idyllic beauty, and also knew of this very temple that the wizards had built, and considered it to be a repository evil guarded by the wizards, the forces of good that used to live here. And so he considered not only this a great place to settle down, but a place to potentially set up camp to make sure that the evil contained within this building was unable to escape. And as most dragons are, he was extraordinarily wealthy, and so he established a fairly comfortable and extravagant castle in order to live in, and built this fortified mansion in his own name. He used resources to attract other champions of good, valorous knights, and the such, and those who were considerably prestigious or adept became Knights of the Order of the Silver Dragon, serving Lord Argenvost himself. It was only those who were in the order that were able to know that Lord Argenvost's true nature was that of a silver dragon. However, during the war, the Order of the Silver Dragon drove away malefactors searching for the Amber Temple until and sheltered Strahd's enemies and such until once Strahd made his agreement with Vampire. Unfortunately, the Strahd was able to take his reinforcements and sweep not only the knights from the valley, but kill Argenvost himself. Once the dragon was slain, he had the corpse hacked to pieces and stripped to bone and transported to Castle Ravenloft as a trophy.
Fuck.
All the knights, of course, without their leader, were left to languish, those who had survived the battle, and that's what led to many of their unrest within the castle itself. But there's a beacon on the back of the building known as the Beacon of Argenvost Holt, and it was built as sort of a symbol of hope to the land. And during the reign of Lord Argenvost himself, it would remain lit as a beacon of hope to any of those who saw it. It can be seen from a great many miles when lit. And I believe, I'm not 100% certain, but I believe it to have some sort of magical properties. But yes, a fascinating place, filled with culture, very, very much worth, if you're seeking to be well traveled, very much worth stopping by.
Thanks. Mim feels a little uneasy by the idea of them chopping up the people and bringing their pieces back to Ravenloft. That's great. All right. Well, thanks. And I take the map, roll it up, and now I leave. I dash out the front door.
All right.
Hi, Mr. Heimlich.
Heinrich.
I know.
It's Heinrich.
Okay, Heimlich. And I leave.
You say hi to Mr. Hamstring.
I did. He was very happy to see me. And did not shoot me with a fireball, thank God. Oh, also, you know, as I was leaving after I hung up on you guys, he told me a little bit about Argenvost Holt. I just want to let you guys know. They chopped up the people that were there, and transported them back to the dragon. Oh, it was the dragon. I thought it was more like everyone.
Specifically, once the dragon was killed.
When they killed the dragon, they chopped it up and brought it back to Ravenloft.
A dragon?
Yeah, the silver dragon. We knew about that. I thought the knights of the silver dragon.
I thought that was just a crest. It was actually a dragon?
Apparently.
Huh.
Yeah.
You see Irina's eyes widen really big. Oh my god, she's right. No. The leader of the order was a silver dragon disguise. I remember now.
And
Lord
they
Argon.
lost to Strahd? Oh, it's a fact.
Dragon lost to Strahd. How did Strahd kill the dragon?
I don't remember.
How helpful.
It's all. Well, I'm sorry.
It is helpful.
That was Hermes. That was Hermes.
I know.
It's like having. It's like having multiple books worth of memories all mixed up in a big vat in my brain. I remember things that are mine distinctly, and then there are other things that feel like they're mine, and it's sorting out which goes where is difficult. It's almost like a big soup.
A soup, huh?
Oh, a soup there.
Sir, did you find out where all the Fanes or whatever are?
Yes, yeah. The map. I open it up. I explain anything they missed, but whoever wasn't listening on the corner had to walk away or something.
We just heard him say, and that's here, and that's here.
Well, he said Yesterhill in the top of the mountain. You're right though. Actually, I don't know if you knew about the top of the.
So, where should we start?
Well, do we want to?
Do you have a map somewhere?
Yeah, on the. Can we put that? Like an image of that map? I have hiccups. Oh my god.
Yeah, hiccups are the worst.
Boo! Got him. Don't worry.
Ah! Thank you.
So I have.
Boo.
So we have our to-do list. I put the main objective stuff that I had in my other document right above the to-do lists, because I'm assuming that we're on the same page. Everyone to defeat Strahd, and
I'm gonna rename this the logistics episode.
Well, yeah, we kind of had like a general consensus of what we wanted to do before, and then we went to the guy that like would tell us anything if we sat there long enough and listened to him.
That's literally his job in the module. Like his job as a character is like, this guy knows almost everything, but he can't remember a good chunk of things.
Yeah.
And he's annoying.
We still haven't talked about it in game though.
What, haven't talked about what in game?
What we're doing.
Oh well,
all the decisions we made.
We did. Remember, I was saying like, are we all on the same page of wanting to defeat Strahd? And then Hermes was like, well, Alistair kind of is, kind of isn't. And so then I started off with a conversation with like, do you want to just defeat Strahd? And then,
but you guys didn't really come to a conclusion. You guys just started walking.
So that's why I asked. So where we're going?
To come to a conclusion on whether or not we're defeating Strahd or what we're doing to next in order to accomplish.
What is our very next step?
Oh, okay.
Because that just changed.
Oh, I think we still do need to get to the Forest Fane. Probably first because we want to work that way. But did you guys want?
Where are we right now? We're at the Amber Temple.
Yeah. Did you guys maybe want to? Now that we know there's another obelisk area at the top of the mountain, we could stop there first. He said it's about like a 2.5 day journey, I think.
No offense, man, but I am so done being picked up by the rock.
Oh, well, fair. So then our other. Go ahead.
I think if we're all on the same page to defeating Strahd, then and we know one of the Thanes is at Yesterhill, and we know the Raven Guild is also at Yesterhill as well. At the Wizard of Wines, which is on the way. Why don't we take a trip back to the Wizards of Wine, and we can take a trip back to the Wizards of Wine, stock up, rest, and see if the Ravens Guild might be interested in getting us information about Strahd's coffin, the amulets. And regardless of the answer, then we'll go about reconsecrating the Fane sites.
Sen, if we sleep on it, I might be able to help you with the rock stuff in the morning. Just tired now.
You want to do the quest, Rock and Stone? Yeah, maybe we just need to sleep on it. In general,
Yep.
I'm very exhausted.
And chop chop.
Yes, he sits down, starts casting.
And have you been able to hurry up this?
You
It takes so long.
really going to do this every time?
Yes.
Do what?
He ignores you and continues to cast.
I thought it'd be prudent. I tried.
Channeling my Adam. Right, after about 10 minutes, Tiny Hut does go up. Let me actually place it. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I'm measuring. Dink. Dink.
Does our tiny hut block their entrance with the giant dog into the fucking room?
Oh, they already left.
Yeah, but they probably come back to sleep, right?
Depends.
Maybe. Because they were only here because they were hunting, like they said.
Oh, got you.
Snow.
Oh, snakes.
I forgot about that.
Alright, there we go. There's your tiny hut. At this point, you guys have been talking for a while. It's been about another hour and a half. So it's starting to be early evening. The temperature's starting to drop. It's still a little bright, but not terribly so. And as Tiny Hut goes up, the wind kind of becomes dull, and you have that kind of warm, comfortable feeling in the hut itself. So just a heads up, if we are going to sleep here, we're probably going to be waking up in the middle of the night, because it's only lasts 8 hours.
Could we have walked further down the mountain and then hit that at a...
You want to do that first?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully we don't get attacked.
So instead,
Can we
will...
can we take a short rest first?
Yeah.
Or I could have done that while Mim was inside.
Yeah, I imagine that you guys took a short rest then.
Oh yeah.
All right, so then in that case, we will head to...
Short rest.
How long do temp
Jesus.
temp hit points last?
10 hit points. They last until your next short rest, I think. Like your next rest, your next long rest, short rest.
Okay.
I'll double check for you though.
Oh.
All right.
They last until they're depleted or your next long rest, sorry. So they last until you long rest.
Cool. Thank you.
Cool, cool. So you hike your way back down the mountain. I don't remember off the top of my head, and you guys can help remind me. Was the undead bear before or after the rock?
It was before.
It was before. That's... Then we will say...
After the rock was Sangzor.
Correct. So we'll go up here. We'll do this one.
Be basically just a regular ram.
The all too regular. He could have been a snowman, honestly.
This time, a Doonby's with you. Alright. So, you guys make it back down to around where you encountered Sangzor. And use some of the overhanging rocks and foliage to kind of tuck into the side of the path. And Andar casts Tiny Hut. And you guys settle down for the night. Is there anything anyone wants to do before you guys crash for the evening?
No.
I think I'm
Not
good.
me.
All right. As you guys start to settle down and fall asleep, the wind kind of provides some nice white noise for you. A few things happen. One, a Doonby.
Oh.
I need you to roll me a con save.
You sure about that?
I am sure of that.
Okay. Just wanted to double check.
Oh god, I can't see Irina's name. Not really Irina.
I rolled pretty high. I rolled 5.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh.
I do.
I'm assuming I passed.
Definitely pass.
So I get to go to sleep.
All right.
I mean,
Alright.
it should be no big deal, right?
Don't kill him.
Haru. Wah.
We'll leave that be for now.
Yeah, nothing happens. Nothing bad
In the
happens.
meantime,
Yeah, thanks.
here's what's gonna happen.
Uh,
So as you guys lay your heads down to rest, you're always a little discomforted as you remember your current situation, being trapped in Barovia, being high up on this mountain, being like surrounded by cold, desolate mountain filled with vicious creatures and steep cliffs. And then beyond the mountain itself, the harshness of Barovia filled with werewolves and darkness and mists and undead. Everything around every corner seeming to try and want to steal your last breath from your lungs. And tonight's no different. In fact, tonight seems to be a little bit worse. As you each begin to drift off to an uneasy slumber, you jump with a start, and the world around you has filled with a blackish gray smoke. And bewildered, you watch as the smoky walls of this huge clearing begin to coalesce into strange shapes. Trees and foggy pathways off in the distance. You guys are waking to find yourself in a circle. Everybody but a Doonby.
takes damage.
So it'd be here instead.
I don't take damage though, right?
No, you don't. So
You're just
a
asleep
Doonby's
still, I
just
think.
not. Yeah, a Doonby's not in this circle. Neither is Casimir.
Oh, they're just not here. It's a whole different place.
Actually,
than
no.
where we went.
Casimir would be. Let me grab Casimir real quick.
Wait, is this is a whole different place? This isn't like a shadowy spot of where we were before.
No,
right?
this is a strange, what appears to be aspen-filled grove with this deep red, almost
it's an aspen.
soft grass.
So it's an aspen 'cause
The
of the way it
color
is.
of almost the autumn leaves and fire beneath your feet. Let me grab Casimir real quick. And as you guys watch and are kind of establishing your surroundings in this aspen-filled grove, you start to see that around you, shapes start to form between you and the tree line. Forming in a ring around you are these translucent figures hovering a few dozen feet in front of each of you. Let's see. The first to spot who they're looking at, Andar looks out and watches as this misty form seems to coalesce into a shaved head and a fur-covered torso with a large sword hanging out of a demonic hand as Isaac Strahd form appears. And then in front of Casimir, the mist twists into a curled blonde head of hair and a long robe and wings bursting out the back as the abbot appears. Irina, looking forward, watches as black locks and dark skin turn into a fur-covered form of Zulika. And Mim looks forward as the mist forms into a matted dress coated in fur and a skull mask with a horn curling through black hair. But as these figures begin to coalesce, you start noticing that they're not as you remember them. Isaac is pierced with many wounds and slashes and has a needle point through his collarbone. Zulika is hacked and slashed across her body. The abbot seems to be bleeding Icarus golden blood, and Valenta's head is burst open with black coagulated blood dripping down the side of the mask onto the top of her dress, which seems to be seeping. And as you guys are watching, more figures begin to form in front of Alistair, a figure in a long robe with a neck twisted at a strange angle and a dark line curved around his throat, his father Lucian. And last but not least, standing about 20 feet out from Sten, the mist forms into a sparking, cracking figure with a large hole in its black metallic chest as the spirit of Canine forms in front of Sten, and the spirits start slowly walking towards you. And that is where we'll end for today.
Oh, fuck you. No. What the fuck is this?
Canine's back, baby. You thought I had a new character? You thought I had a new Doomby character? Nah.
All this was just to get
K10.
It's K-time. rough.
Man, I miss K9.
This I told you it was cool. I had this plan the whole time, and you guys were like, let's talk about
Like,
more.
we're not even... Did you plan for us to get to this and...
This was gonna be like the first thing we did today.
Yeah, and finish it. We were gonna finish it. Oh, we moved so fast.
I know
my
Andar's
goodness.
here.
I know you're not usually here for it, but every week we have like a player meeting of like, all right, what do you think Ryan wants us to do today? How can we thwart his plans?
Yeah. Yeah, he called today's title "Falling Asleep," and so we're like, so what do you think? We take the point of exhaustion, or
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh
I
man,
didn't even
dude.
notice that.
I saw this as like I saw like part of this as it was in like a random encounter for Barovia booklet that I use, and I was like, this is brilliant. But I was like, I can adapt this in such a cool way.
If you get the chance.
And so this was going to be the beginning of the session.
Maybe next time.
It's like you guys were gonna. I think you guys were gonna start traveling and be like, "Man, we haven't rested in a while. We're all tapped. We should rest." No matter what logic I use, I will never predict your guys' actions. No matter how long
it would have been the beginning if it weren't for us meddling kids.
We're on a knowledge quest.
Oh my god.
That's
well.
good.
I also was really specific. I was like, what order should I reveal these in? And I was like, well, Isaac's probably the easiest to throw out first.
There's no right order.
The moment you're like a crackling, I'm like, it's canine.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I was like, who's it
immediately,
gonna be?
Oh god. Because I was trying to think, who's dead? Who's dead?
Yep. Yep.
Can canine really die though?
We'll find out.
I'm surprised it's like not people we've killed like
You know what's good?
Like at first I thought it was gonna be someone I
So
killed.
I thought it
What?
was, right? Until
Yeah.
he got to Father Lucian.
Yeah.
Because I was like, we've had our hands in all of these except the Father Lucian one.
So that means the Volakoviches are okay. They're not here in this dream. They're definitely alive.
But here's the difference: is that well, I mean, I won't spoil. Never mind.
Oh, didn't we have Father Lucian? Father Lucian was the one that we killed.
Well, actually, you did kill Father Lucian once.
All of these people have
yeah.
a through line with one person.
Yep. Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So, have we long rested?
I don't.
You will be going into this fight full,
Okay.
Okay,
but not
good.
leveled up.
Okay. Shit, I wish I would know. Okay.
This fight you'll be going into full but not leveled up. After this evening's long rest, you'll have leveled up.
Okay.
So come next time prepared with the level up. I thought that you should come to this one prepared for the level up because I figured that this fight would happen at the beginning and then we'd continue the session with the level up. But now come to the next one leveled up.
We'll just prepare a level up. Sweet, don't worry.
That's good.
Don't worry about it.
Need you guys to remind me next level up. I'm gonna take a feat instead of the other thing. Just remind me.
How many feet can you have?
Well, probably 3 in total.
Weird, dude.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Weird.
We don't necessarily need our feet. They're just for like fashion. So I guess however many
They're
you
just
want.
for fashion. That would be weird. Like a race that just like has a body part that they don't need, and so like they don't care about it at all.
Oh wait, hold
The
on.
new
We're going
plasmoid
in.
race?
Yeah, we're going into 9th level, not 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you don't. No one gets an ASI.
I do, but that's because I'm multi-class.
Yeah.
Depending if you're multi-class or not.
Hold on a second.
If you're delayed by a level, then yeah.
Yeah, you get.
You should get reliable talent, which is amazing. If you're, I think 9th level rogues get reliable talent.
I get
you're
another-
Arcane Trickster, so you get magical ambush.
Yeah. And I get another hit die for sneak attack. Not hit die. I get,
Oh wait,
yeah.
reliable
That's
talent's
sweet.
level 13 or
What?
something probably actually.
Let's see.
That's
Reliable
level 11.
talent.
It's level 11.
Yeah, 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant level 10. I'm planning. That's why.
Oh, what are you getting at level 10?
That's ASI.
Huh?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
yeah. What are you getting for your ASI at feet?
Sentinel, I think, was the one.
Oh, you're going for Sentinel.
Nice.
It's such a good feat, man.
That's a
Yeah.
great feat.
That's what you guys suggested when I got.
Most of
you
my
gonna do
people
the,
in Baldur's Gate have that.
Are you gonna do
Yeah.
Are you gonna do the mirror image trick?
I think so.
Mirror image thing.
That's the goal. Since like that was brought up, it was on a sticky note. So
Yeah, because that's what I was doing. That's I've only done it once, and that's what I was doing with Finch. So I thought it was a cool thing to do.
Yeah, I miss that camp. Every time you mention or someone mentions it, I miss that campaign.
Also, I'm excited for this encounter, but I had a really heavy debate on who I should include in it for who you see, and honorable mentions were the hunter from the Blue Water Inn, Yevesny. What is it? It's
He's alive.
Yeah,
he's alive, but he did die. Yevgeny, and then the other one that I really debated were the hag daughters.
Oh, you know what would have crushed us? Those kids.
I thought about the kids, but
Those guys are
I can't use the kids.
Interesting.
no spoilers.
No spoilers. I mean, you don't know the pattern here, other than the fact that you know that, like, Nick caught on to the fact that at least in theory all of these people are dead. But there's certain things here. No spoilers.
Sure.
I'm excited for this encounter.
They all what?
They all have no, I won't say anything.
What?
I won't say anything.
They all have history with one character.
Well, they all have history with all of you in a way.
Well,
Yeah.
one character who's not any of us.
Oh, well.
But,
That's pretty easy to. That's pretty. That's if you're. It's the character I'm thinking of. That's a pretty easy line to draw from anyone in the module.
Blinsky.
They all have eaten waffles at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, the elusive waffle. Well, thank you for the game.
Of
I'm gonna go get some lunch.
Thank you guys for playing. I'll see. Just a reminder: there's no session next week because Tot and I are AFK for the weekend. We'll be back in Denver. Nick, we have to catch you at some point.
Okie dokie.
And we won't get back until Sunday night, so no session next week. But in theory, we should be all good for the 27th, as long as nobody has any issues.
All right, sounds good.
Should be good.
Cool.
Cool.
Talk to y'all later.
Okie dokie. And also real quick, Adunbi.
Yeah.
At some point, for everyone's knowledge, Adunbi's spirit journey is going to be a bonus episode that Adunbi and I are going to record on the side. And so if anybody wants to know what happened to Adunbi during his absence, that'll be something that we will be going through, hopefully this week, if not next week.
We're going on a journey.
We're going on a journey.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Yes.